I would like to speak from the topic, what now? What now? What now? I want to jump straight into the text today, no introduction. In our narrative this weekend, we see one of the most emotional stories in the Bible, and that is David and his men losing their families and all their possessions. To give you some context so you can respect the content, David is currently on the run from Saul. To all of my note takers who like taking notes, at the top of your notes, you can put 1 Samuel chapter 30, and we'll just jump all throughout this particular chapter. Your first note of the day would simply be David is on the run. So here's our first note. What should I put on my note? What's the first thing that literally leaps out of the text? That's something I always say to myself when I'm reading the scripture. What leaps out of the text? The first thing I see is David is on the run. So what is that? I see a man on the run. When you hear me say a man today, that's man or one man. But for the sake of the points today, I put man on the run. But you get what I'm saying. The first thing that literally leaps out of text is a man or a woman on the run. How do I see that? David is on the run from Saul. He's not just on the run, note takers. He's on the run from Saul. Why is that important? Saul was so overwhelmed by jealousy concerning David that he is trying to kill him. I'm going to read this for you. David was on the run because Saul recognized him as his successor, and he was possessed, this may be worth writing, with a tormenting spirit. That's critical. So let me paint the picture for you real quick, okay? David is on the run from Saul. David loved Saul. Saul loved David. Saul's son name was what? Jonathan. Who's Jonathan's best friend? David. Let me paint the picture so you can see this. David and Jonathan are best friends, but Jonathan's daddy wants to kill David. This is cold-blooded because the hand of God has been removed from Saul and it's now on David. I'm finna mess you up. Saul got the throne, but he don't have his hand. I'm finna run already. Saul got the crown, but he ain't got the favor. That's why people can't stand you, because they got possessions but don't have power. They may have finances but don't have favor. Saul should be embracing David, but instead of embracing David, he's allowing stuff to get to him. Saul's sitting at the house, and all of a sudden he hear people in the street saying, Saul has killed his thousands, and his chest starts swelling up like, yeah, boy. Then all of a sudden they added a verse 2 to it. But David killed his tens of thousands. Saul didn't like the remix. He was like, no, who is this David? Now all of a sudden, Saul, this is rich, is possessed with a tormenting spirit. Ooh, I know you ain't gonna write that in your notes. It's cool. It's a tormenting spirit. You got to be careful, because some of us, I did say us, didn't I? Some of us have tormenting spirits in certain seasons and don't recognize it. See, a tormenting spirit is when something won't leave your mind, when this situation ain't what it appears to be. But for some reason, something is pushing you to see the negative in it versus the positive. Instead of Saul saying, you know what, the hand ain't on my son, but it's on my son's friend, but by right, the crown gonna go to my son. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure both of them are positioned and got everything they need when it's their time. Saul is being tormented. Why? Because Saul has the same issue that a whole lot of people watching me have. Saul's issue is he does not believe that God could bless two people at one time. I'm finna mess 70 y'all up. Killing me ain't gonna crown you. Am I preaching to anybody today? Here's a public service announcement for all of your haters and your enemies. Killing me won't crown you. And if you block me from getting it, that don't mean God gonna give it to you. What God got for me is for me, and what God got for you is for you. I don't want your stuff. You should want my stuff. And so what happens is Saul is being tormented. So what does David do? Are you taking notes? He runs. David runs, but the problem isn't that he runs. The problem is where he runs. The problem is where he runs. It's critical. Why? David was on the run from Saul and had hidden himself among the Philistines. Among the Philistines. That should be worth writing. Type that. Among the Philistines. I make people take notes in my church. You saw that? Type it. Type it. You don't even know how to spell Philistines. By the time they read your notes, they're going to think David played for the Phillies. So for the Philistines, all right? He's on the run and he hides among who? Young people, this is my young section. Among the who? Philistines. Now let me paint this picture, Brad, but this is cold-blooded. This is cold-blooded. Here's the picture I need to paint for you guys, okay? David is on the run from Saul. He hides and joins forces with the Philistines. Here it is. Goliath was a Philistine. Remember when he showed up to the scene, David said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Be careful when you're on the run. You'll end up in the den of your enemies. All love ain't good love. That's for 6 of y'all right there. He's on the run because Saul had the tormenting spirit. David could have killed Saul, but he didn't. Put this in your notes. Sometimes maturity is sometimes running from a fight that you could have actually won. Maturity is sometimes running from a fight you could have actually won. Have you ever been in something where you had them dead to rights and you didn't have to let them off the hook, but something in your spirit said, I'm gonna let this one go? Why, PMJ? I said it for years and I'll say it again. I'd rather be righteous than right. Did you catch what I said? I'd rather be righteous than right. Or in other words, me proving a point that I'm right in this situation ain't worth the casualty it's gonna cost me. Did you hear me? So this is critical when I say this. The first thing that literally leaps out of the text is a man on the run. It's critical. Go to 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 1. 3 days later, when David and his men arrived home to their town in Ziklag, they found that the Amalekites had a raid into the Negev and Ziklag. They crushed Ziklag, burned it to the ground. Not only do I see a man on the run, number two, I see a man out of position. It's critical. I see a man out of position. The text says, I hope you catch this, while they're missing, the enemy raided the city. I don't think you heard what I just said. While the men are gone, the enemy crept in and took everything and the families in the city. I'm gonna say this as a daddy, and I think other three daddies gonna catch this. It's just certain stuff that can't happen when I'm at home. Y'all didn't hear what I said. It's just certain stuff that won't happen when I'm in position. I've been on tour this whole year for the most part. I've been bouncing in, bouncing out, doing what I gotta do, doing what I gotta do. My text thread been jumping. Boys ain't did this. Mason ain't clean this. Boys ain't doing this. McKinley got an attitude. Miles don't wanna get up. Miles did this, Miles did that. I'm home now. Yeah. It's just certain stuff that ain't gonna happen when I'm home. Lady can say, I'm tired of talking. I done asked them to do so-and-so. I'm fussing, I'm yelling, so-and-so, so-and-so. I sit in the house and I watch her go from room to room negotiating. Y'all hurry up, do this, take this here, take that there. I sit on the couch. I sit up and all I say is, hey! One hey from me is interpreted 5 different ways from all 5 of them. Hey tells Miles, get your butt up and get in the shower. Hey tells the boys, come get your stuff off the counter. Come do so-and-so wash. You go, hey tells McKinley, check that attitude. See, because there's certain stuff that can't happen when you in position. And what you don't realize is that the devil will dangle fake opportunities in front of you, trying to pull you out of position. That's why this isn't the season to be selfish. See, when I said thrive, the first thing you thought was, I'm gonna get it for me this year. No. Yes, I want you blessed, but thriving don't mean being selfish, because what the devil will do is have you so busy chasing what you want that you don't realize when you got out of position, now your family is exposed to a whole nother attack. I'm gonna speak this, only 3 of y'all gonna catch this. God's gonna let you be blessed and in position all at the same time, that you won't have to sacrifice nothing and nobody to be what God is getting ready to call you to be. Stay in position. Oh, I was watching football last week and I didn't preach. I wish I was at church last week because I'm watching Alabama lose a game, man. And Alabama's losing the game, but it was a call that changed the game. Ryan Williams out here in twins, and they call a play. They do a play action. Go deep. Ryan Williams catch the ball in the corner of the end zone. I'm screaming. I'm hollering. Out of nowhere, it's a flag on the play. And the announcer say, I don't see a holding nowhere. What's the penalty? Out of nowhere, he said Ryan Williams was ineligible. I said, what type of sense does that make? He said Ryan Williams is on the ball. If he's on the ball, that means the tight end covers him up, which means Ryan Williams should have took a step back and been off the ball, therefore making him ineligible. So he caught what was coming to him. He did what was coming to him, but the whole team lost because he was out. I'm gonna preach to 3 of y'all, a position. And this is why I don't have time for people in my life this year who I gotta keep going back and telling you what the vibe is this year. Because I can't keep losing because I'm loyal to you, but you loyal to always being out of position. I'm preaching to 3 of y'all this year. That's why in 2025, you're going to have one meet and one meeting only. We staying focused, we staying fruitful, we staying faithful. We ain't playing no games, we ain't going backwards. Can't nobody spin the block, can't nobody come back. We ain't wasting nothing, we ain't acting a fool. I'm going to tell you this in January. If I look up in March and you out of position, I'm going to let you stay out of position, because I can't waste another year like last year trying to get you where you need to be when I'm trying to get me where I got to be. Look down your row and shout, stay in position. Praying is a position. That's why you can't be on the phone gossiping and listening to mess and talking about the tea and talking about who in the family did what. I'm going to stay in position, because if I stay ready, I ain't got to get. Prayer is a position. Praise is a position. That's why David said, I will bless the Lord. Not just when stuff is good, not just when stuff is bad. You want to know what I discovered? If I'm always praising him, that means the devil can't never catch me off guard, because I'm already always in his position. Your neighbor don't even know who they sat next to today, so just look at him and say, thank me later, thank me later. Tell him you ain't even got to shout for the rest of the service. Tell him I'm in position on this row. And since I'm in position, here it is. If you stay in position, he'll give you your possessions. You so busy chasing stuff that would chase you if you would just stand still and see the glory. Y'all don't like me today. I'm in position. I'm in position. Huh? I'm in position. I'm in position. I'm in position. I'm in position. Why you don't come around no more? I'm in position. Being around y'all ain't a sin, but being around y'all make me let my hair down too much, which pulls me out of position. You think you better than everybody. I actually do now, because I made a decision that I'm going to stay in position. I'm not saying I'm better than you, but I am different than you. And I'm not going to take my life for granted. Millions didn't make it. I'm one of the ones who did. And I'm not going to keep looking up, getting where I am. I'm going to stay in position. Did you catch that? Position. I see a man out of position. It's critical. Can I ask you a question? What broke? Because you out of position. Can I ask you a question? Why do you think God let you accomplish what you accomplished from the context you come from? Let me make that simple. The context, okay? Context. Context is your environment, your family, your upbringing. Why would God let you come from that only to make you do all of what you're doing? It ain't so you can look back at them and say, look at what I did. It's because God put you in position so nobody in your circumference would ever have to go through what they're going through again. I'm preaching whether you receive it or not. I'm preaching whether you receive it or not. David is out of position. Well, here's the question though we got to ask. Somebody got to ask it. Why is he out of position? All right, I'm going to tell you. They were able to raid it on the poles. Put this in your notes. Because David and his men had been off preparing to join the Philistine army. Online, we're going to run. Me and my virtual church going to have church. I don't know what we're going to do in the physical church, but virtually, they're going to put running emojis right here. Coach, hear me. David's family is kidnapped. His whole city burnt down. And all his men, family, and children are kidnapped and lost their stuff because they preparing to join an army they just took out. Who I'm going to say this? I'm scared to say this. Some of you going to have to learn to stop fighting battles God didn't call you to. I'm preaching whether you receive it or not. I'm preaching, bro. You don't know what one of my issues is? One of my issues is I take on other people's problems. Since I was bullied so much, I kind of got this superhero syndrome that I could be minding my business, hear somebody messing with somebody else, out of nowhere like, no, I got you, I'll say something, I'll say something. You wanna know what I discovered? Each year I'll say something, then everybody don't like me, then I look up and all them back kicking it. And I done lost a whole connection because I'm in a battle I should have never been in the... Who am I preaching to this morning? That's why you gotta be careful. Put this in your notes. Put this in your notes. In life, you will have to fight. The question isn't if you're gonna fight. The question is what type of fighter you gonna be. Are you going to be a street fighter or a prize fighter? Street fighters fight in alleys, at schools, in backyards, at malls, and don't win nothing. Prize fighters fight on TV, fight for a purse, and whether they win or lose, they go home with something. I am done fighting battles that even if I win, I don't leave with nothing. The fights I'm gonna fight in 2025 gonna give me a blessing on the other end of my stressing. I'm preaching today. That's why when they ask you what y'all always fussing for, just let it go. I can't let it go. God told me to fight for them. Why? It's a blessing on the other side of this storm. That's why you got to be careful who you let in your circle in this season, because you are loyal, and the fact is you're so loyal you will be fighting when other people done fighting, and you'll end up fighting by yourself. But God said, I'm putting some people in your life this year that as long as you're fighting, they're fighting with you. He's out of position. Psalms 8, put this in your notes, Psalms 8, verse 4. I'm gonna put it on the screen in the NASB, but I was raised on King James. This is what my daddy would have said, what is man that thou art mindful of him? And the son of man that thou created him a little lower than the angels. But the NASB says, verse 4, it says, what is man that you take thought of him? Jesus. And the son of man that you care of him. Look at verse 5. You have made him, it's cold right here, a little lower than the angels. He says, leave verse 5 up there. You made him, he's talking about you, a little lower than God, okay? God is the big G, big O, big D. Here's what we don't want to say in church, so we don't want you thinking too highly of yourself, but you are a little G, little O, little D. You are God's representation on earth, which is why when he comes back, he's looking for his reflection in us. Y'all hear what I'm saying? He says, so what is man? David is tripping. He says, God, what am I that you are mindful of me, that you consider me, that you made me a little lower than the angels, than God, that you crown me with glory and majesty. Now verse 6, I'm gonna preach, but this is my younger service, and my younger folk gonna tune me out right here at the 9 o'clock with my older seasoned saints. This is where we had church, because younger folk don't want to hear this part right here. I'm gonna tell you a Bentley coming in about 6 minutes. You're gonna hear everything you want to hear, but this scripture right here is the one that'll tell you you don't have to properly harmonize your hermeneutics with relevant homiletics or build a bridge of contemporization from the original audience to now. You don't have to do none of that. This scripture alone, if you got any type of Jesus just teaching you, he says you make him rule over the works of your hands. Here's my line right here. And you have put all things under his feet. I don't know who been stressing all week. I don't know what bill you got coming up. I don't know what you got going on that got you walking the floor at night. But spiritually, you ought to just stomp your feet right where you are and declare to the devil, it is under my feet. I'm putting my stress under my feet. My enemy is under my feet. My pain is under my feet. My anxiety is under my feet. Touch 3 people and shout, it's under your feet. It's under. He said that you put it, this is cold-blooded, under my feet, which is why the devil is trying his best to bring you down. He's trying to bring you down because the big G-O-D created the little G-O-D, and the devil recognizes the hierarchy, and he says, this don't make no sense. How was I in heaven, messed up, got kicked out, bypass earth, go to hell? Yet they mess up daily. Yet you give them grace. It ain't that the devil don't like you. The devil is jealous of you because you got the one thing he did not get, which was grace. He got kicked out of heaven for thinking it. You didn't get killed for doing it. Oh, y'all bougie today, huh? That's the bougie section right there. These 2 sections right here. No, he thought to himself. It says he thought to himself, I'll create my kingdom above his. And God kicked him and 1/3 of the angels out of heaven. Yet you do it daily. And instead of you dying, Pastor Mike, why should I die? Because the wages of sin. But God said, I'm going to give you something that the devil couldn't pay for, called grace. See, old school saints only shout about that right there. See, you got to be an old school saint to understand grace. See, young folk, all us millennials, we get in our car, crank our car up. We don't do none of that. See, we don't even understand God because none of our equipment or appliances make us use faith. We get in our car, press the button. What the car do? All that good stuff. Mom and them had to put a key in the ignition. All right, they had to have a key, put the key in the ignition. They had to turn the ignition. See, your car good, you press the button. See, that turn for mom and them was a faith experience. Because sometimes they would turn, it would say, vroom. But then sometimes that thing would get the hiccups and say, dun, 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 dun. Then she would turn it off and say, come on, Jesus, come on, Jesus. Not today, Lord, not. There it is right there. See, because you so used to stuff working the first time, you don't know how to thank God. But grandmama said there were certain seasons when it didn't work. That's why she said, I thank you for danger seen and unseen. That's called grace. So sit down. Y'all got me. I said I wasn't even going to turn. I'm up here dressed like Morpheus. I was going to be cool today. Y'all got me preaching. It's the closest you're going to get to a bishop's robe. You better have church with me. Hear me now. Hear me. He out of position. David is fighting battles he shouldn't have fought. All right, chat. Put this in the chat for me. Everybody in the room, put this. All my leaders, listen up closely. The men are with David because he's the leader. Bravis this cold. Xander this cold. Y'all natural born leaders. It's cold. So that means everybody lost their family because y'all made a decision. If David don't go to battle, the men don't leave. That's why you got to stop saying, I want to be the boss. No, you just want to check. Y'all don't want to talk to me today. No, you don't want to be the boss. You just want to check, and you don't want no accountability. You want to go and come as you please. Just do that. Stop trying to be a leader. See, because when you are a leader, that means you are favored. But here's what people don't understand. Sometimes my decisions get you blessed, but then sometimes my decision will have you going through more hell than you ever been through. Can you live with that? I always joke that my brother preaches now because his brother was preaching. He saw God on my life. He said, I want what God put on your life. Then I also joke is, what if I would have sold drugs? Would D be with me? You ever been in a situation everybody said, what you think? Then you went left. Now they went left. When you didn't realize they really didn't know how to feel, they was waiting on your guidance. But because the leader was twisted, the people were twisted. Michael. No, that's called leadership. Because every loss in your life ain't yours. Fellas, give me a what? Are you in position? Are you in position? Are you in position? Whether your child live with you or not, are you in position? Do they feel your presence? Are you there? Because I want to make this very clear. If you're out of position, what are you allowing them to be exposed to? Yeah, it's going to be certain stuff my boys don't want to hear from me. Yeah, I'm going to say it whether it make them mad, they get irritated with me, don't want to talk to me, don't want to hear about it. If I feel something, I'm going to say it. No regrets. No, I ain't playing that. I don't like this person, so-and-so, so-and-so. I don't like what you did right here. Don't do this. I want you to do this. I want you to do that, yada, yada. Now, you make your own decision. Yep, but you're not going to be able to say, I'm going to stay in position. Mama, are you in position? Hard to be in position when they always at grandmama's house. I'm sorry, but the decisions you make cause you to make a responsibility. Are you in position? Are you in position? Children, are you in position? You mean to tell me mom and daddy got to work hard as they work only for you to be ungrateful, not have good grades, and still get in trouble? The devil is tearing our family apart because one of us always out of position. You either got a father that didn't bother, a mother who didn't cover, or a child who was wild. Either way, somebody was out of position. And I came to prophesy and decree and declare that God's putting us back in position. I don't know who I'm preaching to, but I just felt the Holy Spirit on that. that God's giving you a chance to reconcile what you destroyed or what was broken, and God's giving you an opportunity to get back in position. That God says no weapon formed against your union, no weapon formed against your family, no weapon formed against your business shall be able to prosper. He's out of position. Out of position. Because he's out of position, he's dealing with some loss. And that hurt. That hurt, man. That hurt. Being out of position hurt. 12 football games this year. I was on tour and getting back to church. Only missed one. I was so proud of myself. But the one I missed was the one he acted a fool in. And I asked myself, had I been present, that would have been crazy. Or if I would have been present, maybe he wouldn't have won his heart. I can't go back and try to relive that moment. I just got to make sure, watch this, even when I'm not there physically, they still feel my presence. I'm preaching this time for y'all already. Somebody shout position. Not only do I see a man on the run. Are y'all taking good notes? It's finna get heavy. Not only do I see a man out of position. Number 3, look at verse 4 and verse 6. Look, it says, verse 2. And they took captive the women and all who were in it, both small and great, without killing anyone, and carried them off and went their way. When David and his men came back, it was burned to the fire. Their wives, their sons, their daughters had been taken captive. David and the people who were with him lifted their voices and wept. I see a man under pressure. That's crazy. Can I paint the picture for y'all? Y'all don't mind? His daddy and his brothers mistreat him. I'm talking about David. Make that make sense, PMJ. You remember, right, when the prophet came to find a king, and he went to the house, and he was like, hey, you got any sons? He said, here go my sons. He said, they ain't it. You got any more? Well, I got one in the back, but it ain't him. His daddy didn't think he was much. His brothers always picked on him. His mentor, Saul, trying to kill him. He living on the run with his enemies. His city and his family been taken and burned to the ground. Now his whole family gone. Pressure. I got a question for you today. What would people do if they knew the type of pressure you was under? See, your problem is you make it look so easy, but they don't have a clue how much pressure you are under. That's critical right there. The weight can get to you. What you gonna do with it? He done lost so much. His whole life stuff been mounting on him. Now he finds himself in a position where he don't know what to do. This is critical because David finds himself in so much pressure. But here's the part that I need you to catch right here. Why, Pastor Mike? Because Warren Worsby said, and it's on the screen, Warren Worsby said, and I quote, perhaps the Lord permitted this raid to encourage David to get out of enemy territory and go back to Judah. That was heavy and you missed it. Warren Wisby commentary said, perhaps the Lord allowed Ziklag to be raided because he was trying to encourage David to get back to Judah. Leave that on the screen. Y'all missed y'all shout right there. See, Judah means praise. So in other words, this one scholar said, what if God let the enemy take all his stuff and his family? Because that was the only way he could encourage David to get back in position. You want to know why it feels like some of your prayers ain't been answered? Because you asking God to answer a prayer he caused. You're asking God to fix a problem he let happen. I want my boy's gonna make a mistake one day, and I'm a crazy daddy. What I'm gonna do is, I'm a crazy creative daddy. What I'm gonna do is, in the middle of the night, I'm gonna take one of their cars, right? Park it at my mom and them house in the garage or something, get a ride back home, right? Get a ride back home. I'm gonna let them wake up, get ready for school, go outside, and say their car stole. And then I'm gonna have them, what do you mean it stole? So let's get on the phone and call the police real quick. Then I'm gonna hit them with the baby boy. I stole my car, Jody. I stole my car, Jody. Hear me? Because I want them to see that's what you look like, though. You cause a problem, don't do right. God give you warning after warning. So then God says, enemy comes in. Now you go running to God. And God is like, come on. But you don't realize the whole while you're running. Have you ever seen a parent try to show a newborn how to walk? And what they do, they don't stand still and say, come here. What they do, come on. Because I'm not trying to get you to this. I'm trying to teach you how to keep going. So sometimes God lets drama take off. And when you go running to God, God like, come on, come on, come on. I got you, but I don't just need to have you. I want you to be in position. Because if you stay in position, I won't have to have you. You would have me. Because I'm where position is. Am I preaching to anybody in here? Burn the city to the ground. He wanted him to get back to Judah. And sometimes God uses rejection for your direction. Here it is. Let me free you. He uses rejection for your direction. See, if I wanted to go this way and God rejects me, he makes me go in a different direction. That's his way of giving me better direction. Okay? Sometimes God gives me no. Put this in your notes. Every no should turn something on. Michael. Every no should turn something on. How did you spell no? How do you spell on? How do you spell no? How do you spell on? So no this way is no. N-O this way is no. N-O this way is on. Which means whenever God gives you a no, that means it was something in you that was off. That he needs to be turned on in this season before that no can become a yes. I'm preaching if y'all receive that. This is only for crazy, mature saints who know how to praise God for a no. See, because everybody thank God for the yeses in your lives. But I'm 40 now. It was some no's that saved my life. It was some opportunities I wanted that I would have killed for, but God wouldn't open the door. And now that I look back over it, I can say, had he opened that door, it would have took me out. I thank God for my no. Look at me. Here we go. Put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. Oh, that was my introduction. I'm going to preach my message, okay? Look at verse 3. When David and his men saw the ruins and realized what had happened to their families, verse 4, they wept until they could weep no more. I want to ask you a question I've never heard a preacher ask before, because here's a word that we were taught not to use in church, because to use this word in church is almost blasphemy, because this word means you don't have faith for the future. I don't believe that. I believe David is crying. That's a fact. But why? I'm going to ask a question I've never heard nobody ask. What if he's crying from regret? There it is. I done put it out there now. Regret. See, we were taught growing up, it's almost a sin to have regret. I'm finna mess you up. Regret ain't a sin, it's an emotion. We often think regret is the end of a story, the point of no return. And while it is excruciating and difficult to come back from, regret is not the end of the story. It's a pause in the story. Let's define regret. Online, take good notes for me, all over the room. Let's define regret. Regret is an emotion. Let's pause right there, leave it on the screen. Regret is an emotion. Let's pause and put it right there. Regret is an emotion. That's critical. It's not a spirit. Heaviness is a spirit. Regret ain't a spirit. Regret is an emotion, which means it's just a feeling. But let's go deeper. Regret is an emotion. It's a negative emotion in that it's an emotion that makes us feel worse, not better. It's an emotion that's triggered when we think of something from our past and we wish we had done something differently, done something in a different way, not done something, taken an action, or not taken an action. Regret is cognitively complex because it requires, put this in your notes, mental time travel. Oh, we going there. Regret requires young people, old people, seasoned people, saved people, street people, church people, hood people. It requires mental time travel. I gotta paint the picture. Regret makes you take a time to, say that better, Michael. Regret makes you take a trip in the past, sit in the past, come up with fictional alternative endings that you like, come back to the present, and is now depressed because the present don't look like the make-believe you made up in your mind for the past. Did you hear what I just said? Okay. Regret is like watching a movie that you already know the ending to, but you don't like the ending. So what you do, for me, it's American Gangster. That's one of my movies. I can't stand in the end in the American Gangster that Denzel lose, all right? Granted, I know in real life it was a criminal, but for me, it was Denzel. I don't want Denzel to lose, okay? In the end of the movie, when Denzel walk out to church and the people walk up on him with that smug look, I cut the movie off. I don't like seeing him lose like that. So in my head, Denzel walk out to church, ain't nobody out there. His brother's tire business still thriving. His mama still got her farm. They didn't get the money from under the doghouse. His wife still happy. He go on to be all God called him to be, however that's gonna be, okay? But that ain't real. So what I do is I turn it off. So here's what regret is for you. You're watching a movie. You don't like the ending. You press pause. Come up with a new ending in your mind. Now you got an option. Either you don't watch the movie no more and you go on believing the lie you made, or you accept the fact this is how it turned out. Some of you can't even be happy in your current relationship. Because although in the present you're smiling, when you get by yourself, you are rehearsing what would have been had you did. Michael and Daniel Pink, a researcher that I love, recently did a most extensive research on the power of regret. He taught me that there are 4 core regrets that many of us carry. 4 core regrets. The first one, this may be worth writing, is foundation regrets. This is good. Foundation regrets. Pastor Mike, what is a foundation regret? This is the too much or too little regret. So in your notes, I want you to put foundation regrets. Under it, put too much, too little. What does that mean, Pastor Mike? Man, I had too much alcohol, too much partying in college, too much spending with my money, too many long nights. Maybe I was on the game too much, on the